exclusive to a network, or you're exclusive to a website, or you're exclusive to Facebook or TikTok or Twitter. And that's what we get a lot of times. That's what we had a lot of times on Facebook and YouTube. I mean, so it wasn't necessarily that the employees from those websites weren't using other websites. What they're doing, this is what they're doing, is they'll come on to YouTube. Now, YouTube got popular really fast, and it had an emphasis in video curation. Facebook didn't have that at first. They're still not very good with it. And so we would get, now I want to say maybe they were Facebook employees, but in both places we would, like on YouTube, I'd say, well, I'm over on Facebook. You want to go over there? And they're like, no, I don't use Facebook. Same thing with Twitter. It's no, I don't use Twitter. And, so the thing is, it's like, well, what's good is Twitter for? They had short videos, but it's not even a video site. It's for curating content. It's where you pop out a link, you share it to the website, you pop it out, you link drop it, and that's how you get more views, is by sharing your own links. Maybe your viewers and followers will share it for you, but nowadays it's going to be really hard, because it sounds like PewDiePie from Disney, and Trump mentioned PewDiePie the other day. It sounds like PewDiePie from Disney, he's the one who's notorious because he lives in another country. I think he lives in France, maybe. Now, he's the one who actually was showing how he would pay people from other countries, I guess because he lives in another country, but he was paying people from the islands to promote his content, and then they got the idea that's a job. They got the idea that's a job, and they're like, oh, well, your YouTube channel's not going to amount to anything. That's what they're telling me with this one. It's never going to amount to anything unless I hire them. And it's like, well, okay, I'm not making any money. Why would I want to hire you to do a job when I'm not making any money? Do you want to do it for free? And I asked a guy that when I was the last year when I was living in the house. He came by. He wanted to cut the trees down, and he says, well, I just thought I'd let you know that the branches being right there are going to start lifting up the shingles on your roof. And I thought, oh, okay. I told him thanks. I talked to him a little bit, told him thanks. He says, I didn't know if you needed some tree service. And I told him, I said, well, there's things I just can't afford. And do you want to do it for free? And he said, no. So that's the thing, when you don't have an income to do things, do you want to do it for free? The answer is no. Most people will say no. They don't want to do it for free. So the thing is, the service industry of going and begging and soliciting at people's homes for services is that one's messed up. That service industry is very, very messed up, because that's where you get the vacuum cleaner salesperson from back in the day who goes door to door. And we heard a lot of, even in the small town that I grew up in, we heard a lot about that. The vacuum cleaner salesman. And eventually my dad got mad at my mother. He got upset because he said women have been abused and attacked from the vacuum cleaner salesman. But I was thinking, maybe that's why he quit, because I think my dad may have briefly been a vacuum cleaner salesman.